Welcome back, YouTubers, to another NXT review with me, Mr. Parkin, on behalf of the British Fist. If you have any comments regarding NXT or this show in particular, please let me know down in that comment section below. I apologise for not doing an NXT review last week. The whole thing revolved around Hideo Itami's road to WrestleMania in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which ended up being in the pre-show. And quite frankly, the reason why I didn't do a video is because I'd already given most of my thoughts on Hideo Itami already. I just thought it would have been a bit of a pointless video if if I would have done one. So that's why I didn't do one last week. I just personally didn't see the point. And really, I didn't really have the motivation to do one because it was kind of a nothing show. It was a great spotlight of Hideo Itami, don't get me wrong, but there isn't really too much I could say about the show. But anyway, moving on to this week, I think this week's show, there wasn't too much going on the show, but it's worthwhile simply for the main event, which was Sami Zayn versus Rhyno. More on that later. Let's get onto this show. So we open up this show with CJ Parker versus Solomon Crowe, and it kind of looks like this is CJ Parker's swan song match of NXT, putting over Solomon Crowe once again. And, I've given my piece on CJ Parker, and I really want to focus here on Solomon Crowe. I thought the submission finisher was pretty cool. I like that. But once again, this guy just, I don't know what it is. He just doesn't stand out to me. He just doesn't jump off the screen. He just doesn't have me going, this guy is going to be something. I don't know what it is. Just doesn't quite have the it factor, I don't think. And that's kind of how I feel about Solomon Crowe right now. Until we see him in a storyline and see what he can do when interacting with others, I'm just going to have that same opinion, that he doesn't seem to quite have the it factor that I think a lot of independent fans thought he would have coming into WWE. I'm just not seeing it right now. I'm really not. A great talent, but I'm just not seeing it on the WWE stage. So Baron Corbin defeated yet another jobber on yet another NXT show in a very quick order. And while a lot of people may complain about this, I don't mind it too much because it makes segments with him short and sweet. It just makes him stand out in the sense that he just seems to go through everyone in 15 to 30 seconds. And I don't really want to focus on that too much here. What I do want to focus on is something that I feel NXT could at some point do in the future, whether it be the near future or, some months or maybe a year down the line. Would anyone like to see Baron Corbin face Rhyno? That is a match I would like to see. You've got, Rhyno, who's been booked as quite a dominant force, even though he lost to Sami Zayn tonight. And you've had Baron Corbin that's been booked as a real dominant force. This is the kind of matchup I would like to see NXT do at some point. You haven't really got much going on for Baron Corbin right now. He's not going to be in the NXT Championship scene. Doesn't really seem to have any legitimate heels to go up against. I think the perfect match for Baron Corbin at some point down the line would definitely be Rhyno, especially if he's coming in to work with these guys and really, give them some knowledge about, how to wrestle, how to tell a story, how to use crowd psychology, etc. Put your thoughts in the comment section below if you would like to see this match and why. Please let me know. So it's been clear for quite some time now that Enzo, Amore and Colin Cassidy are going to be the next challengers for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Whether or not this happens on the next NXT TakeOver, which I don't know when it's happening, or on some kind of big NXT TV show they've got coming up, I don't know. But it's clear that they're going to be getting a shot at some point. And they defeated Angelo Dawkins and Soya Fulton here. The highlight of this match really was Blake and Murphy coming out and giving Carmella some lovely flowers. I mean, what lovely blokes our NXT Tag Team Champions are. They come out to the ring when they don't even need to be there to specifically give some flowers to a lovely young lady like Carmella. I don't really see how I can boo these guys because, that's such a lovely thing to do. Obviously, I'm being very sarcastic. I'm all for Team SAWFT Soft. So yeah, that was the highlight of that segment, really, and not much going on here. But, they're still at least trying a little bit to try and give some storyline between these two tag teams. Obviously, we know Enzo Amore has a bit of a thing for Carmella, and they're going to try and, really build that in, etc. Yes, you could say it's another feud that's involving a female, and that could maybe ruin it. But let's just see where this goes first. I think especially Colin Cassidy and Enzo Amore could really pull this off if they really give it their best shot. So it looks like Alex Riley is going to be on NXT next week, and he's going to be in the ring calling out Kevin Owens, and I imagine that will be the main event of that show simply because it involves Kevin Owens. I'm all for Alex Riley being on NXT. You know, calling out Kevin Owens again after what happened the last time they faced off, yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I'd have thought they'd have moved on with Alex Riley by now, maybe done something else with him. But, you know, I'm all for Alex Riley being on NXT and having some kind of storyline, especially, you know, as it's really just keeping Kevin Owens doing something before the inevitable Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn feud, which looks like they're building Sami Zayn up for. So this was the show that we got to see the debut of Donna Brooke. We've seen lots of vignettes and everything of Donna Brooke. You know, she's a former bodybuilder, I believe, or something like that. And, you know, it seems like the WWE really seem to like Donna Brooke. It really does. And they put her in a match here against Blue Pants. And, you know, one thing is clear. The way they presented Donna Brooke is some kind of narcissistic female, I guess. And the NXT crowd is definitely going to hate Donna Brooke simply because she's very green in the ring. And I think that will definitely work in her favor because, you know, we need something different in the Divas division. And this is a different character. It's a character that, you know, the NXT fans and the hardcore fans are really going to hate because she's like the typical prototype diva that, you know, WWE would want to push. So that is actually going to work in her favor, in my opinion, as a heel. So I look forward to seeing more from Donna Brooks and seeing if she can get that kind of illicit reaction from hardcore fans that generally watch or, you know, like such as myself, review NXT. So Donna Brooke, you know, not the most impressive first match, but, you know, as a character, I can see big things for it. Next week, we're going to be getting Charlotte versus Bayley versus Becky Lynch in a #1 contendership match. That's all fine and good. We need to determine a new #1 contender to Sasha Banks. I don't know why Charlotte's in there. She lost her rematch. So why Charlotte's in there, I don't know. But Bayley or Becky Lynch, I think, would be worthy adversaries to Sasha Banks. I think you could do a bit more story with Becky Lynch, seeing that she kind of helped Sasha Banks get to that point. But Bayley would be fine. Either one of those two, I'd be pretty happy with. You know, we haven't seen Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch really face off that much. So I'd really prefer, you know, that feud. But I'm fine with Bayley either way because let's face it, everyone loves Bayley. Everyone wants to hug Bayley. And then we get to our main event, which is Sami Zayn versus Rhyno. And the story here really is that Rhyno wants to make a name for himself in NXT and he wants to go after the NXT Championship. And to do that, he wants to get to the top of NXT by going through Sami Zayn. That was the story here. And, you know, it looks like WWE or NXT in particular are in a way rebuilding Sami Zayn so that he can go for Kevin Owens once again. And it seems to be the natural course of the way things are going right now. This match told a very good story of the underdog Sami Zayn, and it's just a role that Sami Zayn plays so well, and it's just one of the reasons why Sami Zayn is one of the most over guys on NXT and one of the most over guys in WWE right now. He just plays that underdog role so well, especially against a guy like Rhyno, who in NXT is considered a pretty dominant kick-ass heel. You know, ever since Rhyno has come back, the fans have been cheering him, even though he's been booked as a heel. As soon as he went against Sami Zayn, instantly booed, instantly hated. Apart from when he went for the gore, the fans really seemed to like that. And they were a little bit 50-50 at one point, but as soon as the match wore on a little bit, the crowd were on Sami Zayn's side. And I think, you know, this is definitely good for Sami Zayn. He gets another main event win. He gets a win over Rhyno, and he's being rebuilt to face Kevin Owens once again down the line, after what happened between him and Kevin Owens at the last takeover. So I liked how this main event went down. It was a good match, and I believe, more importantly, it told a good story and emphasized the character of Sami Zayn, that, you know, he's an underdog, but he sure as fuck is going to fight to try and win anything, whether it is against Rhyno, whether it is against Tyler Breeze, whether it is against Kevin Owens, etc. Showing resilience, heart, and courage is always the best way to get a guy over, in my opinion. It was definitely the highlight of the show, I feel. I think if you're going to watch this show, you should mainly watch it for Sami Zayn versus Rhyno. That's really it. If you have any comments on this week's edition of NXT, like I said at the beginning of the video, please let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll see you same time next week. Thank you very much for watching this review if you have. And from me, Mr. Parkin, goodbye.